Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. As you guys can tell, we got a juicy new upgrade. I got a new microphone, and it is spectacular. I hope you guys truly enjoy it. As well as I'm launching my own website, bedroom-talks.com. This encapsulates what I'm trying to accomplish with Bedroom Talks, of what you can expect in a consultation process, as well as writing answers to the questions I frequently get, like, why do Asian men struggle in dating? And also questions like, I feel like I'm socially behind and I'm older, and I have a lot of resentment towards the world. What can I do about it? I address these topics, as well as what we can talk about. It's not only about dating, it's just the beginning. Please tune in to the end of the video to find more information. Today, we'll be talking about what assimilation actually is and why it gets such a bad rep. Honestly, assimilation does not mean giving up your culture, destroying it, and adopting a whole new mentality to exist peacefully in this world. I feel like there's adopting social norms. I feel like assimilation is demonstrating that you have enough social awareness to fit in. When in Rome, to fit in. It's just demonstrating that you have social acuity to mold yourself to fit in peacefully in public without giving up your morals, right? Giving up your culture. The whole thing of like assimilating is bad. It's not bad. It makes the world operate smoothly. And that is why I've been able to be so successful in dating as well as navigating the world as an Asian guy. Look, I'm still Asian. I still speak Cantonese. I still eat a lot of food. I still have a lot of Asian tendencies, right? I don't need to change the world to make myself feel comfortable. What happens is, of course, you need to adopt a mentality, gestures to fit in. That is okay, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just what the culture is. It's as if like I go to Japan, okay, and I'm brash, I speak out, I'm all about independence. Of course I won't succeed in that culture because Japan values the cooperative, collaborative mentality of selflessness, right? Following the hierarchy. Of course that's what they value, right? The culture you go into already has an established idea of criteria of what they value, and that's the important thing is you need to have enough social awareness to pick that up because that'll serve you very well. And I feel like while I'm assimilating a culture, I can bring in my uniqueness, my rough edges, my culture, and I can share that with people because then I won't be a cookie cutter person. But assimilating on a small scale isn't a bad thing. It's like when you're going up the escalator, you have to stand on the right, right? If you are standing on the right, therefore people who are in a hurry can walk up the left. That just maintains social harmony. That's the lubricant for society, and that's not a bad thing. I remember when I was younger, starting elementary school, and I spent a lot of time at home and learning about Asian tendencies and Asian values because that's who I grew up with. But then I went to a school and it was all white, and I remember all the kids kind of looked at me shocked because I was the only Asian kid there. Yes, I was just a foreigner, but also my tendencies, my habits, my slang, the way I talked, the way I carried myself, the way I dressed was a foreign thing to them, and that scared the shit out of them. So how did I become successful in elementary school, middle school, and high school? I really just wanted to be liked. I wanted friends. So I realized and observed, what do they wear? How do they speak? And I want to learn about it. And of course, like my English wasn't perfect when I was growing up, but the fact that I made an effort to talk to people and get to know them, and it was just so curious, I feel like that eliminated the bias that they had against me was, yes, this kid is Asian. His English sucks. He dresses weird. But the fact that he's putting effort to try to learn about my culture, learn about me, shows that he's really determined to become a part of this friend group. He's putting in effort. And the fact that you're putting in effort really demonstrates your ability to succeed in the world. Of course, it's like when I studied abroad in Spain, I wasn't expecting everyone to speak English to me. I expected everyone to speak Spanish, right? I was in Andalusia and Sevilla, Spain. So I attempted my best to communicate them through Google Translate, a dictionary, and I would refrain from using English as best as I can so I could show that I'm putting effort to learn as much as I can versus being viewed as a dumb American tourist. That really separated me from a lot of my friends was the fact that I was going to put in work. Even though I failed, I wanted to learn the customs, and I was therefore able to make friends with the locals. I remember I wanted to be like, hey, what do you guys do on a Friday? And what do you do on a Monday? How do you guys eat? How do you go about your life? I'm so curious. I want to learn. And of course, I assimilated that culture. I'm used to learning and changing, right? I'd assimilate to America. I'd assimilate to Spain. And therefore, I'm successful. My ability to adapt to existing cultures is why I was so successful. It requires a lot of humility. You have to put your ego aside and learn that I am a student, a disciple of life. I am at the bottom of this hierarchy, and I want to learn as much as I can. I'm not going to pretend like I'm an expert. But it doesn't mean you're not courageous or confident of who you are. You're just in the mindset of learning and absorbing as much as you can. You can't be bitter and resentful towards the world. You can't say, the world has to change for me. That's the only way it can exist. The world is what it is. I didn't make up the rules. It is very cruel. Okay, the world is very, very cruel sometimes. And of course you want to fit in. But But that means you have to adopt yourself a little bit to the existing culture. You're showing that you have social awareness to fit in, because no one wants to necessarily hang out with someone who doesn't have social acuity, because that's a danger. They won't pick up the hints. If you're unable to pick up the hints, therefore I can't necessarily trust you, because there's a lot of nonverbal cues that you have to be able to pick up to have a proper communication or proper friendship, right? It's like, I think we all have that personal experience of someone coming in the room when you're having a great conversation and a stranger interrupts you and you're like, dude, we're in a deep conversation. How did you not get the hint that maybe chill out? Or you can tell by our body language, our gestures, we're closing up, turning away, or trying to shut down a conversation. The personal social skills, right, in a situation is so difficult to deal with, and it's so cringy. It's like, hey dude, how do you not get the hint? It's probably because you never been properly socialized. And become properly socialized requires assimilation. And look, if you don't want to necessarily mold yourself to existing culture, that's fine. But don't expect other people to treat you kindly or fondly. It's showing that you're putting an effort to learn about another culture. And that's the beauty of it. It's that you're putting an effort and you want to learn and you want to be successful, as well as celebrating your own uniqueness. I feel like that was the best part, was the fact that I was able to have a lot of friends, and they all happen to be white just due to the area that I grew up in. But they were so curious about Asian culture. So when they did come home, I shared pho, I shared banh mi, I shared a lot of great Asian food with these white friends. And they were fascinated and loved it. They loved the spring rolls. They loved the egg rolls. They loved everything about it because they've only read about it and never tried it. I feel like I was the introduction to the Asian culture for them. And they were like, I'm so thankful. So eventually they brought their parents around and we would share food with them. And that was a really beautiful part, was seeing their eyes light up and be like, oh my God, like this looked kind of weird to begin with, right? But the fact that it tastes so delicious. And that was the beauty of it, was I assimilated the culture and I was able to give back. And I was rewarded with great friendships growing up. So my advice is, assimilation isn't a bad thing. It is not a bad thing. You have to learn and to adapt to the culture. That's how you will be successful, okay? That's how you'll be successful. You don't have to be a carbon copy or pretend to be white or pretend to be someone else. You can be you, okay? But learning to speak the language a little better, right? That doesn't necessarily hurt. And that's not a racist or a bad thing. So in lieu, if you want to be successful in dating or relationships or at work, assimilating will properly serve you. So I finally created a website. After a year and a half on YouTube and creating videos endlessly, I was able to consolidate my thoughts and try to map out my vision of what Bedroom Talks actually should be or is. I want to create an environment or a platform for Asian men to share their experiences along this journey. And I put a lot of resources and books on there and kind of shared my testimonials. And I hope you guys can book one, because I would love to get to talk to you and share my experience, and hopefully we can make improvements in your life. But I just want to create a platform where it makes you feel like you're not alone in this journey. And the fact that you're coming here to find answers to your existing questions is beautiful, and it means the world to me. So I created bedroomtalks.com, and I want to create a blog, and I want to create a forum, and I have a lot of great plans for it, but I'd love for you to participate. Please check it out. It's in the description below. If you want to email me or get in contact with me, the email is min@bedroom-talks.com. Send me an email and I'll get back to you. As always, I wish you guys the best. Peace out.